newspaper review. If only I had the privilege to say some things that we say when you're not on air. But I can't say what they've been saying when we're not on air. Finally, let's take a look at this story. Now Dori and Jumwa seek Raila pardon. This is a day after, this is a Daily Nation, page 4. A day after ODM moved to expel Duo from the party, Dori visits Odinga and pledges total allegiance. Without necessarily going into the merits and demerits, I mean, you know about this story, this case, and their support for Deputy President William Ruto for 2022. The Political Parties Act is very clear. But Raila Odinga is assuring them that they'll get a fair hearing. That is when the ODM NEC ratifies the decision, if they will, later on, or actually early next year. First, I don't know what you make of this, and what people have been talking about political political party loyalty versus independence, development versus politics, because those are the arguments that usually the arguments we get to hear when we see these cases, because this is not the first time we're seeing such problems in a political party. Honorable Khalwale, let me start with you. Politics is a question of perception. The perception ODM wants to give to its membership that if you jog around, we'll deal with you. The perception that Dori and Jumwa and others who might be affected want to give is that we are very apologetic. No, this is merely a lull before the storm. Members of Parliament, Dori and Jumwa, are aware that if they do not do this play acting, they run the risk of losing their seats under the Political Parties Act. So they must do this for purposes of massaging the ego of their party and the party leader, but they are gone. If ODM needed any counsel, they are gone. They are supporting the deputy president, and probably, who knows, I don't come from coast, they might be responding to the ground. Maybe so they just relinquish their seats. I don't know why they're still trying to fight. They should just avoid, leave it alone. Seek a fresh mandate. No, not the members of Parliament. The party should just ignore. What about the members of Parliament? why not the members of Parliament? Because there's a law here. And they belong to a specific
I didn't want to go to the in-depth of the law. It is not as easy as they think. Because the law only says that for a member of Parliament to lose his seat, he must resign and do it in writing and give it to the Speaker together with a copy to the IEBC. These guys are not about to write that letter. So it is just the drama will go on. It has been going on before. Some of us have gone through this. Nothing will happen.
But in the spirit, and the act is clear. I mean, you cease to be a member of a party if you advocate for another party. That is very clear. It's the Political Parties Act. The
lawyers are here.
They can interpret.
The lawyers are here. They will kill you. They will now bring in constitutional. They tell you freedom of choice, freedom of association, and whatnot. The rights of an individual. You can never win it in court.
I'll tell you for free. Legally, the same parliamentarians who made the Political Parties Act made it so weak because they knew they are the culprits. They have never had principles. They will always move from one party to another. So under the Political Parties Act, as the Honorable Khalwale tells you, it's almost impossible.
Impossible.
Because when you look at Dori and you look at Jumwa, they have not propagated ideals and propagandas over another political party. They have associated themselves with an individual called William Ruto. The law does not stop you from associating from anybody. No. The right of association is so fundamental. The only issue, and the members of Parliament are not as easy as Kenyans think.
No.
And as we say, the only person who has ever followed this to the spirit of the letter is one retired, the right Prime Minister, Raila Odinga. At one time, he moved away from a political party called 4K and went to NDP, and he won the seat. Nobody else can try that. Today he tries it, he loses it, because the citizens are totally against for anybody who has been elected. So in my own view, this is politics, this is perception, and I do not understand if ODM wants to punish Dori and Jumwa. What about the handshake? Is the handshake?
That was my next question.
The question Raila Odinga has become more Jubilee.
Okay, he's not using the word Jubilee, but that is a matter of interpretation. But I mean, there's the handshake.
There's the handshake.
And him working very closely with President Kenyatta.
Yes.
But now he's not Raila Odinga himself, but his party, the Secretary General, want to punish these two because of working with William Ruto, who's the deputy to President Kenyatta that works now closely with Raila Odinga. So I don't know what you make of that.
This matter happened before the handshake.
And it's going on after.
And
it has gone on after.
The results are coming after the handshake. So, and you know, politics is dynamic, like Boni Khalwale said earlier. He thinks that perhaps the ground in coast has shifted. I couldn't disagree more. Recently, I went to Matuga constituency, neighboring constituency for Honorable Dori.
Dori, yes.
And what I saw is totally different. Let me just say this. It's quicksand. What they stand on, these politicians, with utmost respect to my colleagues, is quicksand. They saying that today we are supporting William Ruto. If the ground is not shifting, they will definitely go back to where they belong. So, because politics is dynamic. You know, when these NASA politicians, when the handshake came, it was all of a sudden it became very attractive to try and to be seen to be working with the government. And with the kind of politics that the Deputy President has been trying to play, it's very easy to attract some.
So what do you think should happen?
Let me say. But unfortunately, you know, these things that my friend, the Deputy President, has been trying to do, trying to say that he's going to launch development projects here and there, trying to be Minister for Roads, Minister for Health, Minister for Water, Minister for this, completely going to launch projects that have been passed by the same parliamentarians. You know, Parliament is a budget-making house.
He says this is his job as a Deputy President.
No, I mean,
there's nothing wrong with
you wonder what is the job for the Minister for Roads when a whole Deputy President goes to launch a 3 million water project somewhere in Mombasa. So some of these things is perception. But I think this is a matter that will be resolved amicably. Honorable Dori and Honorable Jumwa will retain their seats. This matter will be resolved. And when the time for politics comes, when the reality hits them, they will go back to where they belong.
Okay. Honorable Khalwale, and I know you want to respond. And as you respond, you're also supporting Deputy President already. You've pronounced yourself on that matter.
Yes.
Ford Kenya, your party is not.
No.
You're a member of Ford Kenya. No. So I don't know how that's almost the same thing. How does that settle here?
I'll comment on Ford Kenya shortly. But let me just ask ODM. If they want us to believe them, then as they expel these two members of parliament for associating with Ruto, they should also expel Raila for associating with Uhuru. What is good for the goose is good for the gander. As far as Ford Kenya is concerned, I am the deputy party leader of Ford Kenya. The spokesperson for the party is the Secretary General. There are many undercurrents below what you are seeing. You wait until the Secretary General of Ford Kenya makes a written statement that has been endorsed by the organs of the party. Then you will know whether the party is supporting William Ruto or not. But as for Boni Khalwale, Deputy Governor of Ford Kenya, my position with the Deputy President is futuristic. Futuristic in the sense that we have woken up to the reality that you cannot win an election in isolation. You must form alliances with the leaders who command their backyards.
Are you saying Ford Kenya will ultimately support Deputy President William Ruto? You're telling us to wait for that statement. That's what you're telling us.
What I'm telling you is that Ford Kenya might, in the coming future, make an announcement whether they support the Deputy President or not. Now, so that I just conclude.
The Deputy Party Leader, without any consent from Ford Kenya, you decided to just go ahead and support the Deputy President.
I have told you there are a lot of undercurrents. And I don't want to speak to undercurrents because I am not the Secretary General of Ford Kenya. I was concluding my statement by talking about the need for me to be understood why there is need for us to work with political leaders who command their backyards. Deputy President William Ruto, hate him or like him, he commands his backyard. So much so that in the recent by-election in Baringo, where the young lady died, the famous Gideon Moi was even unable to field a candidate against him because the ground has completely shifted in favor of the deputy president.
You come from Baringo.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
If I was Honorable Khalwale, sometimes it's good to keep quiet if you don't know some things, because you make wild. You say things that you don't know about. Well, I do not want to talk about what happened in the by-election, but it's a question of strategy. Some things you do as a matter of strategy. But in terms of what Khalwale is trying to say, that he is trying to look for alliances here and there, well...
Strategy. You couldn't raise a candidate.
Wait. Those alliances, you know, Honorable Khalwale, some of us are very humble. Like I said earlier, these are early days. We are not the just stamping type. It's early days. We're just in the process of forming exploratory committees to comb the ground and see whether Kenyans will accept our bid. And we are very humble about that. Those of you who have arrived, those of you, if you kama mmefika sawa, nyinyi mchukue kiti basi kesho. Take it. and be sworn in tomorrow. But for us, as those who are in this other team, we are slowly talking to Kenyans. And we've just come from an election. I just want to tell you, watch this space. We came to Kakamega the other day. There was too much heat. You had to take off. And, slowly and surely, you will see things that unraveling before your own eyes. You will never believe.
You're referring to Gideon Moi. Definitely then you're telling us he's going to be on the ballot. Is that what you're saying?
We are saying, what I've said is this. These are early days, right? And we are careful. Being on the ballot is not a small thing. We take Kenyans very seriously. And these are matters that you take very seriously as leaders. So we just have to, like any other serious presidential contender, we have to explore possibilities. We have to build alliances. We have to talk to other leaders. Not talk at them, but talk to them. Convince them, and perhaps, Mheshimiwa Odinga, you've tried before 3 or 4 times. Mheshimiwa Kalonzo, you've tried before. Mheshimiwa Mudavadi, you've tried before. Mheshimiwa Gideon Moi has just been the senator for Baringo. He's never tried. So we are just talking to our friends. Right?
That is give and take.
Listen, we're just talking to our friends. But for Honorable Khalwale and his team, they have arrived. So if they have arrived, let them be sworn in tomorrow. For us, we're just there talking humbly and with a lot of humility to Kenyans.
So when you look at this...
Well, I'd rather let him respond than you. Because you'll get out, you'll get the get together. Yeah.
I think just 2 small points. You have referred to the function in Kakamega. Members of the public unknowingly, they saw 2 prominent speakers. They saw 2 prominent speakers at that function. The first one was Honorable Kamket, and the second one was Honorable Cleophas Malala. To us, as the political practitioners, with years of experience, we didn't see what the public saw. We only saw 2 MCS, one from Baringo called Kamket, another one from Kakamega called Cleophas Malala. You have graduated, so you are still in the honeymoon. You are yet to come down on planet Earth to realize that in the world of real politics, what you need is what we are doing, looking for friends, not talking down at friends.
Is accusing you of the same thing?
Finally,
okay.
My second point. The issue of somebody arriving and the other one waiting to arrive. Gideon Moi is going to end up in alliance, hopefully, with Musalia Mudavadi. They have told us as much. That's what you said in Kakamega. But that is nothing new. They were in that alliance in 2013. And in your own Baringo constituency, William Ruto whitewashed. Mudavadi and Gideon Moi went away with all the votes to Uhuru Kenyatta, including Gideon Moi's polling station. Mudavadi performed dismally. So what has changed for you to convince the supporters of Mudavadi would be that Gideon Moi is going to deliver anything to Mudavadi or vice versa?
Okay. You want to respond?
Yes, yes. You know, like I said earlier, we are, in matters national politics, we are very humble. Even if Mheshimiwa Khalwale decides to call me MCA, I have a lot of respect for MCAs. Even if he decides to call Mheshimiwa Malala because he was an MCA, well, we have a lot of respect for the MCAs. They are doing a lot of good for this country. And perhaps God knew why Mheshimiwa Khalwale here did not become governor, because if he has that very dim view of MCAs, I wonder how he would have worked as governor for Kakamega. But you know, God works in miracles. And in terms of the coalition of 2013, you know, that was then. This is now.
Okay.
And we are moving slowly but surely. We are not yet. We have not yet arrived. Like you know, for them, they have arrived.
Okay.
They know that their candidate is already president.
All right.
Fine.
Yes.
We will. Like I said earlier, if they know they are already there, let them be sworn in tomorrow.
Okay.
For us, we have a lot of respect for Kenyans. We will move. We will come the country slowly and surely, slowly and surely. We talk to these Kenyans.
Okay.
And I can see there's a lot of goodwill going for us. And we don't take that for granted. We will move slowly and talk to other leaders. Talk to Mheshimiwa Kenyatta and tell him, give us the winning secrets. How, you know, how did you win like that? Please tell us how you won.
Okay.
Tell us how you almost won, right. Mr. Odinga.
We're winding up now and with Omari's remarks, but Honorable Khalwale, I mean, and he's saying it and I raised it before. This is the second or third time you're referring to MCAs almost derogatory.
Very derogatory.
Yeah. What is your view of MCAs?
My view for MCAs is that they have been a serious letdown in this country.
Blanket?
Totally? Yes, yes.
The same view you'd want people to associate you as a former MP with?
No problem. It is they have a right to their opinion. Why I'm saying this is that MCAs have allowed themselves to be captive to the governors, to the extent that the oversight that is expected to be done in counties by county assemblies has been left to the Senate. And the Senate doesn't have the time to oversight 47 governments. So MCAs are a letdown. They are held captive. It is not something that we should let them get away scot-free. And he was a speaker.
Okay. That's your opinion. All right. Finally now, Dansar Amari. It was final remarks to this.
Yes, Hussein, you hear two camps. The pro-William Ruto on my left, the pro-Gideon Moi.
How can you say
the only fact that Kenyans need to understand is that the William Ruto, the deputy president, and Gideon Moi, all of them are sons of the Rift Valley. Who controls the Rift Valley is going to be a big, big issue. We are likely to see a scenario, if indeed Honorable Kamket has instructions to say that his candidate will be in the ballot, we are likely to see a 2002 repeat, where two candidates, very strong candidates, one Uhuru Kenyatta, the current president, and the retired President Kibaki were in the ballot. All of them hail from Mount Kenya region. So is this going to be the scenario? Are the likes of Musalia Mudavadi and the others flower girls to join that group? That we are yet to see. But what has come out very clearly, what we have seen very clearly is that William Ruto seems to show intent to go for the seat.
And the rest don't?
The rest have not. He has not confirmed. You have asked him severally, is Gideon Moi on the ballot? Gideon Moi seems to have captured this notion from the likes of retired President Moi. He never said that he wanted to be the president until 1978. Accidentally, when Jomo Kenyatta died, he became a president. We never saw George Saitoti, Professor the late, say he wanted to be a president. We never saw Kalonzo Musyoka say he wanted to take over power from Kibaki. We never saw any of the deputies or vice presidents. But William Ruto has come out very clearly from when? From 2012, that he wanted to be the president after Uhuru comes. So we have two personalities that are totally different. One, a hustler who sold chicken. One, a prince who feels entitled to get power courtesy of his father's
okay, that's...
so in this...
I thought this was now when...
No, I'm only giving
you're just opening another discussion. We don't have time.
I'm only finalizing. So, William, I think Hussein, the final remark I will say, Kenyans, watch the space.
Okay.
Will William Ruto likely have a competitor from Mount Kenya region and not Gideon Moi?
Okay.
That we are yet to see. Two, will William Ruto's traction with the likes of his hard-hitting camp, will it bring him down by virtue of them also feeling they are entitled because they are a deputy president and they are entitled? So the tech is for Kenyans. You have the vote. You'll decide who to vote, but definitely not Omari.
That's not Omari. You're supposed to bring these two gentlemen
But you'll vote.
But I will vote.
Who will you vote for?
I will not vote for anybody because the IBC has not declared who is in the ballot.
Okay, but I mean, for the record, he said Gideon Moi's politics now they're trying to be very humble. That's what you're saying.
Yes.
And now you're saying he's a prince who feels entitled. I don't know.
Everybody
has their opinion.
Thank you.
Okay, he has to respond to that.
He must.
It's only fair.
You know, I'm very clear. You know, it's only 2018. We just came from election last year. It's really unfair to Kenyans to tell Kenyans now, 1 year later, that you're going to be running for president this early. We have a lot of respect to the electorate, and we don't take the electorate for granted. We want to. All we are doing is just exploring the possibility of a Gideon Moi presidency in the future. Yeah. And we are not saying that we are entitled. No. It is a Khalwale's candidate who almost, and you saw what he said, kwamba nitapita na mtu yeyote mwenye ako mbele yangu. So between those two, now who is more entitled?
And now he has to respond.
Who feels more entitled, Bwana Omari? Sincerely.
Let me answer.
The one who says, mimi nitapita na mtu yeyote mbele yangu.
That's what I'm saying.
And the one who says, okay, I am here, I'm only serving you Kenyans. When the time comes, we will see.
You had my advice.
So you're admitting that he's going to be on the
You have had my advice. Gideon might be a futuristic candidate. William is saying it is now or never. Okay. And that's why I've cautioned his handlers.
Now he has to respond.
The handlers, go slow. Don't appear that you'll sweep anybody. You will seduce the voters.
Okay.
I think I want to ride on the advice that Omar has given. I would go further, but please don't take my advice seriously. That tell Gideon Moi to come out of the shadow of his father. If he must host people to attract political support, he should not host them at the father's house. We want to see him hosting them.
Does he have a house? We've never seen visitors in his compound.
Exactly.
That's what you're saying.
Exactly. he should host them in their own home. Please, we all have parents.
I'm sure he has a house, but we have to finish.
Let me just only one word. Only one word. You know, President Moi is like a father to many politicians, almost all politicians in this country now. And we have a lot of respect for that Mzee. He's done a lot for this country. And if honorable, nobody chooses to be born where they are born. And if Honorable Khalwale was to be asked, would you choose your Mr. Khalwale, your father, or Moi to be your father? I'm sure you would have chosen Moi. You know, sometimes, you know, some of these things.
My father has made me what I am, which is far better than most of the people you admire.
We have to put it up there. Honorable Kasaid Kamkad is the MP for Tiati, former MP and Senator, Honorable Boni Khalwale, and lawyer Dunstan Omari. Thank you all for making time for us this morning. Daybreak continues this one more tweet here. Koa Frederick, who says, Hussein, kindly be bringing Tiati MP every time, very sober, because the guys who are bashing you.
Thank you.
A very good conversation for a morning from the three. That's actually the whole three, really. Yeah. And it says, dear political practitioner, at K Boni Mtetezi.
Yes, sir.
Time will tell with your newfound partner.
Yes.
Okay. Thanks for watching. Daybreak continues. Willis Taburu will be baking cake after this.